Hi there, guys. I'm back with another assignment. So let's not waste any time and let's get started. So, firstly, I imported pandas and numpy file. Pandas would be used mostly in this, but I have also put numpy for just in case. So let's start. So the first question is download the test.csv file and store it in data frame named mydf. So I downloaded the test CSV file and then I named my data frame as my DF as it's asked in the question, so that can be done. Moving on to the second question, it says show the first 5 rows of the DF. So here, by this code over here, my df.had, which as you can see by this method, I can show the first 5 rows of the DF of my database, right? And then I've also added columns over here because as we move on to the third question, it would need these things. So the data type is object of course. So in third question it says, so if we have first row contain the column names, if not, please assign the following column names to them. So I had the columns but I didn't have the column names for them. So in third question they have said it very clearly that I have to put the column names over here. So I did it like that. So for 10 I assigned ID to it, for 192 I assigned range to it, for 50 I assigned value to it, for F I assigned machine type, and for NXEYEM I assigned the zip code to it. And after assigning this stuff, after assigning and running it, as you can see, this is over this is changed over here because we have assigned their names as per the condition in the third question. So moving on to the fourth question. In fourth question it says add your name and student number on top of your data set in your local file and show your DF with your name and student number as a part of the data set. So I exactly did that. I put pd.data frame, the data set, and put ID. In ID I put my Patel, and in range I put my student ID. As you can see, as it's written in the question, you have to put that. Then the local file, and that's all. After that, let's move on to the fifth question. In fifth question it says now use a method to skip the first row and show the DF as it was before adding your information. So for skipping one row, I have written here mydf.loc, but for skipping one row, the one written over here, it will skip one row from the 5 rows. So it's like if you put a 3 over here, it would skip 3 rows from the 5 rows, or if it would be 6 over here, then it would be 3 rows from 6 rows. It can be whatever you like. So it's, they said in this question to skip one row, so I put 1 over here. So that way it would skip one row. Okay, moving on to the sixth question. In sixth question it says show the type of your DF. So to show the database type, I did put mydf.dtypes. As you can see, it means it would show all the types included in the database, and if anyone wants to show general database, it would be pandas.core something something. As we move on to the seventh question, is select the value column using two different commands, which one is more, and say which one is more object oriented style. So I put here two of them I showed. So it's my DF, and then in the brackets in single quoted I put value. I mostly prefer, I would like to prefer this, but the other one, my DF of value, if you want a easiest form of it, then this would work. But this would actually give you the particulars, the main things of and details of the of it. So I would mostly prefer this, but if anyone wants to go for the easy way, they would obviously don't put the single quoted thing and bracket, and it would be good to go. So moving on to the eighth question, it says what is the type of this selected column. So for the selected column, I so the column type I added here is type my df value, and the column type would show here, as I said, it's pandas.co.series in caps lock. And yeah, it would be shown, that's the column, right? And moving on to the next question, the ninth question is, can we apply both methods? It says, it's mentioned in question 7, for fetching the zip code column, which other column has the same status, why we cannot use both method for fetching its content. So I put here, for zip code we don't use dot value type of method, as you can see. So instead we use single quoted method. So I put my df zip code column has space in its name, so we cannot use other method for fetching the column data, right? And that's how we get the result over here. Moving on to the 10th question. So in 10th question it says, create a new series called brand by combining machine type and zip code series. Now that's a good one. So, and here it would be my df and new column brand name over here, as you can see. So I put my new column name over here is equal to, it says machine type and zip code, because in the question it said that we have to fetch, no, it's the 10th one, right? In the machine it says we have to combine machine type and zip code. So I combine both of them, that's why I used a plus over here. So it is equal to, and also is equal to over here. So the column name, it would be then combined by machine type and zip code. And as you can see down, yeah, it did. So in the question 11 it says, create a new series called total by multiplying range and value series. So it's the same method that is been used. It's just you have to multiply over here rather than add. In the upper one it was they had to add it, in this one you have to multiply it. So I multiplied the range and value column over here, and then it would give us the command to use. Moving on to the 12th question, where did it go? Here, over here, yeah. Moving on to the 12th question, it says use the following command. So my df had, my df describe shape data types. Why some have parentheses and some don't? What is the difference between B and C? So here, as you can see, I put all of it, all of the columns, like my df had, over here my df describe with parentheses, my df describe without parentheses, my df shape, and my df data types, which has been written in this question. So they asked like why should some have parentheses and some don't. So in this, the difference between the B and C over here, the describe with parentheses and describe without parentheses. So in this describe without parentheses, it can run. It's like a math method. It's like a math method. So it can run. But when we put parentheses behind it, it would call and describe the method and then show the result. So in this one, it's just a math method and it would just run and show the result. But this one would describe and call the method, and after that show the result. That's the difference between both of them. Okay? Hope you guys understood that. Okay. And moving on to the 13th question. So it says, how can we use the describe parentheses method to show the statistics for the object, not numerical columns. It specifically says the not numerical columns. So in that we have to select a column in which I did select the brand column over here, as you can see, and describe it with parentheses so it would show the result, and obviously it would run it, like it would call and then describe this by column name. So that's why it did that, as you can see down the results. Okay, moving on to the 14th question. It says rename the ID to my ID in the DF without replacing the ID series name in the original DF. So the unchanged DF show the unchanged DF by displaying the top 5 rows. So I put here my DF dot renames, but here I put it in single quote the ID and my ID, as you can see. That's the columns over here. So the ID columns are over here and the my ID columns are over down there. So this is like the ID one and the other one is my ID one. And that's all. That's the top 5 rows of both of them, as you can clearly see. So moving on to question number 15. So to rename the ID to my ID in place, and so the changed column name using head method. So here in 14 it didn't have in place in it, but in 15 we have to in place. So there's nothing different about it. It's just like we have to if we do in place, we have to it would be shifted permanently to it. So here ID my ID, I put in place is equal to true, which that means that it would be permanently shifted to IDF. So this is the one that was permanently shifted. Okay, so moving on to the 16, it says show the DF column. So I have written here my DF dot columns, and it would show us the columns that we have, that my ID, range, value, machine type, zip code, brand, and total. So, and moving on to the 17th question, it says change all the column names to ID, range, value, machine type, zip, and display the new column names. So I did that over here. Oh wait, where is it? Yeah, here. So I renamed it. Put in place is equal to true, that means it would permanently change it, and then put str is equal to lower. So in short, what I did was, for that I changed my ID to ID and the column to lower, and it wouldn't be there permanently, but it would be there for once. It that wouldn't be there for permanently, it would be just there for once, as you can see. And the 18th question, it says replace all the spaces in the column names with underscore and show the changed named columns. So and here, after this thing, my df dot columns str replace, here as you can see it's a blank space over here, because we want to replace the blank space with the underscore, right? And for the columns, the machine type would be changed to the zip codes. So it's written over there, down over there. Okay, moving on to the next question, 19th one. It says delete the brand total columns permanently. So here, from here, as you can see, my df drop means it would delete the brand total over here, and this access is equal to 1 means we can delete columns, not rows, and in place, which means it would delete it permanently. Okay, and this is the answer over here, as you can see. moving on to question number 20. It says delete row number 3 and row number 5 from the DF permanently and show the top 5 rows. So I deleted row number 3 and row number 5 by putting 2 and 4 here because it's it's like 0 1 2 3 4, right? So it starts from 0, so the third one would be 2 over here and the fourth one would be 5 over here. So as you can see here, it changed to 3 rather than 2, and here it changed to 5. So yeah. So question number 21 says sort the value series in ascending order showing only the value column. So in this one I did put my df and then in inverted commas the value thing, and then I sorted it into ascending because I put ascending is equal to true, so it would be sorted for permanently for it. So I put it over here and then it was sorted in the ascending order. It's the same thing we have to do, like sort the values in this 22nd one. It's sort the value series in ascending order showing the whole data frame. So it's the same code which I put over here, but here I have to put this inverted commas in the brackets, and that's how it got sorted. So here my data frame, oh wait, yeah, it's in the ascending order, and as you can see, I showed the whole data frame over here. Oh wait, no, wait, this is kind of wrong. I said it wrong. It says we sort it and then we have to select and sort the database by value, column and case order. So in the 22nd one where I had to do that. So this is the same thing, but in this we have to sort it out and we have to select the whole database by the value column over here and put it into ascending order, as you can see. Okay, moving on to the 23rd question. It says sort the value series in ascending order showing whole data frame in place. So it's written over here, in place is equal to true. It means database is changed permanently. So the ascending statements, the ascending order that we put, it would be changed permanently now. And after that, in the 24th question, it says sort my df data frame based on the range and value in ascending and descending order respectively. Range in ascending and value in descending order. So here I put my df.sort values and here range and value. So in ascending order we'd put ascending and descending. So range would be true and descending value would be false as written in the question. So yeah, I put ascending is equal to true and false in the brackets, and you can see the answer after that. 948 rows into 5 columns. It's been done. After that, the 25th question, it says display those rows of my df that their range is between 250 and 350. So here it says, so here I have put greater than 250 and less than 350, so that way it would give me the exact range of the database that's between 250 and 350. And as you can see, we have got it, and it's like 197 rows into 5 columns. It's too much, but yeah, it all got sorted out because we have written it over here that this should be greater, the range should be greater than 250, and here it should be less than 350. So yeah, that's a that's it. And moving on to the 26th question, it says display those rows of my df that their range is between 250 and 350 in an ascending sorted format. So yeah, in this thing we have to use the dot method for it. So it says my df dot range in the sort values by is equal to, in single quoted thing we have to put range, and obviously that it's true, right? So in this, using the dot method, as you can see, we got it all sorted out. And yeah, so for that, it was all sorted out in ascending order, as you can see. And yeah, that's all. Moving on to 27th question. 27th question says display only the id and value columns of those rows of my df that the range is between 250 and 350. So here in my df I put the range between 250 and 350, and then I put the id and value in that single quoted no in that single quoted single quotations. And here I put new my df1 dot stop now, and you can see the id and value over here. After that, you can easily see the results after that. For the 28th one, it says display only the id value and machine underscore type columns of and of those rows of my df that their range is between 250 and 350, and their machine underscore type is equal to h. So I have written here id value and then machine type, and then here machine type was being placed with h as it's been told in the question. Simply replaced it with h. And now, as you can see, when you put the results on it, like when you run it, you can see machine type is equal to h in each and every one of them. Moving on to the 29th question, it says display those rows of my df that their machine type is equal to h or r or x. So here in 29 we use the where method. As you can see, my df my machine type is in rxh, and after that you can see the machine type here. It's it's all r, x or h, nothing other than that. For the 30th question, it says show the my df columns data type dot display select only the numerical columns. So for that I put print my df dot d types, that means the data types, and then then we have to select the data types and include number in it as asked in the question. So we have to put it into numerical columns. So I did that over here, as you can see the results, and that would be pretty much the results of the 30th question. And I guess I have to say that was the last question. So that's it for today. Hope to see you guys again soon with another assignment, and have a great day ahead. Thank you so much.